Hello folks, and I know I've said this in the past, but this may really be my final transmission if what I'm about to do now goes wrong. And I may be about to become a, how should I put this, a willing victim of diesel emissions in order to better drive home to you the evils of such things. Now, as you guys will know, my last few videos that I've had up, I have been playing with some permanent magnet motors. So we've had Nissan Leaf motors, Toyota Prius motors, and various other things that we've been testing here on the bench with the Hubner inverter and the resolver interface. Now, what we've been doing has been just spinning them on no load on the bench. And I know that a lot of you guys will probably be thinking, Damien, that's no good. Just because it's spinning with no load doesn't mean it's going to do actual work. And I also know that over the years, with the induction motor stuff, I've had more than a few people telling me that the control mechanism is no good because it won't produce the standstill torque. I'm even getting that with the Tesla motors, despite burnouts and drift cars and rally cars and all kinds of things. Anyway, I figured I would preempt some of that in relation to the permanent magnet side of things. So I've got a test set up over here, and I've got some earmuffs. Now, you know, you might be thinking, why do I need earmuffs for a testing setup? So let's go have a look, and I'll hopefully be apparent why I'm going to need these things. Here we go. Yep. Okay, so what we have here is a Lister LT1 single cylinder diesel engine. This is one of a few kind of old school antique engines that I've had for a long time now. This one has particular sentimental value for me for a number of reasons. Anyway, enough about that. What it is connected to is of probably more relevance to this particular channel, and that is we have a Toyota Estima hybrid MG1 motor. Now, the Estima and a few of the People Carrier hybrids are different from the normal Toyotas insofar as that they have a belt-driven MG1 that connects directly to the engine crankshaft by means of a belt, obviously. So what I've done here is, this is a little rig that I had built years ago, as you can tell by the rust, and I had a normal automotive 12 volt alternator connected to this as a kind of an emergency generator setup. So what I've done here is I've removed that alternator and replaced it with our Estima hybrid motor generator #1 type thing. Now, this is a liquid cooled device, but it doesn't seem to be getting warm doing what we're doing now. So I have it connected to our crappy Anova inverter with our new logic board that we've seen in the previous videos. Power is being supplied via rectified mains and a step down transformer. We have about 150 volts DC on the DC bus right now. I've got a clamp meter there just measuring the DC current. So, for those of you that may not be familiar with this type of engine, it is normally started by means of one of these, which is a cranking handle. And the cranking handle engages on the camshaft for this particular model, and it's used with this device, which is a decompression lever, and that basically holds the exhaust valve open and allows one to crank the engine over, build up speed, so that the large cast iron flywheel here builds up energy. And then when you get it spinning fast enough, you just flick down the decompression lever and that pulls the piston through a few compression cycles, which is hopefully enough to achieve a start. There's a fuel control lever down on the side here, if I can remember where it is now. Oh yeah, here it is. It's been a long time since this engine started. I don't know how long. It certainly hasn't started since I moved to this house, so that's at least 6 years. There is fuel in the tank and there is oil in the crankcase. So the fuel control is currently turned off because we don't want to start. So what I've got here is we have our throttle pedal connected to the inverter. So for a first test, going to just show you motoring the engine with the decompression lever up. So we are compressing. So if I push the throttle, we start motoring. More throttle gives us more speed, and we're starting to get the classic Lister LT1 sound now, but without any combustion going on. So, this is taking about 400 watts from the DC side. Now, here's where things get interesting. If I flick the decompression lever down, this engine is now under normal operating conditions. So when the piston comes up on the compression stroke, things are going to get very difficult for our trusty motor here to crank it. So this is fuel off, decompression lever closed. So there's the compression stroke. You can see the belt slipping. Once we build up enough speed though, we can actually motor the engine against compression. We're now taking about 1 kilowatt from our power source. More speed, Muttley. Now, the next phase, I leave the decompression lever closed. The next phase is where I may not survive because I know that I can't just end the video now. You guys will say, turn on the fuel, Damien. We want to see this thing start. And that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn on the fuel. Now, let's just say that these engines were built in an era before exhaust gas recirculation and diesel particulate filters and urea injectors and all that. So I'm about to receive the full gamut of diesel combustion byproducts, whether or not the engine decides to start. So I'll set up the camera and let's see if the old LT1 will come to life for us. And see if it heralds my end as well at the same token. Now, alright, here we go guys. Hoping you're going to be able to see this. So I'm going to start off by leaving the decompressor down. Because that's the hardest possible way for us to do this particular test. I'm going to select the fuel control to start. I'm going to put earmuffs on. Yeah, wish me luck guys. she goes. She's smoking. Now, it is quite cold today. Okay, we have failed. So, first thing I want to do is I want to see if I can hear the injector squeaking. Okay, see if I can crack this injector line loose up here. Don't think I can really get that one too easy. I'll try the one on the pump. There we go. Go. Compressor up. Oh, there we go. There's fuel coming out now. Not much though. What do you guys think? Episode of Oh, I see a problem. Well, good news is we've found the problem. So fuel filter, we have fuel on this side, but we got no fuel coming out. So going to go ahead and put a new fuel filter in, and then we'll go for a take 7. So it's never quite that easy, is it? Seems as if 10-year plus old diesel tends to cause problems. So I've got the in-tank filter is also blocked. I managed to get some flow restored, but the fuel that's coming out of that looks really nasty. So I'm going to drain that out, and I think I'm going to have to go get me some diesel. And yeah, so I'm now covered in it, of course. Great. So this is how we prove that electric motors are a better power source. Stay with us. Oh, Jesus Christ. Really? Really? So yeah, this is turning into a bit of a tour de force. Just back from the filling station in my electric car after buying diesel. So now I've got some of the fittings back in here. I'll throw some clean diesel into this thing, get it clean diesel, and see if we can wash out any of the crud that might be still in there. Okay. Alright, success. Also decided that seeing as the fuel was so bad that the oil couldn't be that much better, I'm going to put some clean oil into it as well. That'll be after I manage to get rid of this smell. I guess I'm getting rusty with the old combustion engine stuff. Alright, let's refill. now that half of it's on the floor, the other half of it's on me, and there's another half in the tank, might actually be able to this is crazy. Might actually be able to get some of it into the injector. Okay, so that's good news. So I've got some coming up as far as the filter here now. I'll call that a win. Jesus, right in my electronics lab. I love that. Alright, stay tuned for more. Okay, so good news is we have the whole fuel system bled out and we're good for take number 75. So my entire floor got a nice wash with diesel fuel, with fresh fuel in the tank, fresh filter, all the gunk cleaned out, bled, fuel pump working, and fresh oil in the crankcase. So without further ado, I will don the earmuffs and prepare to breathe in the diesel fumes. So we will roll her up to, I'm going to close the decompressor, fuel's turned on. Okay, here we go. I better put my foot here as well because a lot of gyroscopic force with the flywheel. Oh, okay, that's good. I think she wants to go. Okay, well now that we've warmed up a little bit, it's really easy to start this. I don't even need to put the fuel control to start. I can just put it on run. Decompressor off. Just going to wedge the wheel again and I can just roll on the throttle. It's quite amazing that, because it is quite difficult to turn this engine against compression. With the normal starting handle, I'm not physically able to do that. I know some people can, they don't need to use the decompressor, but I wouldn't be one of them. But yeah, this I can do this all day. Just fuel back on, throttle up. Well, folks, I hope you have enjoyed this particular episode. Proof where it needed that we can indeed generate low-end torque with our permanent magnet motors and Hubner control system and super simple cheap resolver interface. Thank you, phone. So as usual, Check links in the description for my Patreon and PayPal in case you wish to financially support any of this craziness. Also, there'll be a link in the description to my web shop for buying some of my junk, and additionally a GitHub link so you can download the stuff for free and build it yourself. So, gonna leave you guys there. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And as always, happy dieseling.